Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm Jeremy, and Alan unfortunately is not able to join today, so we are going to be running a single player version of GG Dispatch this morning. As a reminder, each week on Tuesday, bright and early, we consolidate the week's biggest headlines in gaming news. Whether you're listening in on your commute, during your workout, or you just have us on in the background, we want to thank you for listening in. And speaking of thanks, another thank you to the kind folks at Audio Technica for providing the microphone that I use, the AT2020 USB-X. Whether you're just starting out on your content creator journey or you're a seasoned pro, Audio Technica has the products for you. So this is going to be a shorter episode. It's just me. But I did want to make sure that first the content kept flowing. The content must flow, right? Much like the spice must flow, the content must flow. We know this. But more importantly, I wanted to make sure that I had an opportunity to share some of my thoughts on unfortunate news that we got in the past week, which is that Akira Toriyama, iconic mangaka and character designer, passed away. He actually passed away on March 1st, but the news came out a few days ago on March 8th. I want to assume that pretty much anyone listening to this is familiar with the works of Akira Toriyama. But in case you are not, Akira Toriyama is the creator of the Dragon Ball franchise. Akira Toriyama is the lead character designer for Dragon Quest and Chrono Trigger, and largely as the creator of numerous iconic and memorable characters, narratives, stories that have impacted both anime and video games in an almost immeasurable way. I am an elder millennial. I'm coming up on 39 here this year, and I know that following the news, there were a lot of conversations on Twitter and things like that about memories of rushing home after school to watch Toonami, to watch the latest Dragon Ball Z episodes. We rewatched the Raditz saga like 10 times because we were waiting for the dubs to come out and more episodes to come from Japan, and so they would just keep cycling whatever episodes had been localized and then starting it all over again. And so it was such a formative experience for many anime fans during that period. Gundam Wing, really the whole block had its impact, but really it was Dragon Ball Z that cemented itself in our kind of collective consciousness and memory. And then, of course, there were the contributions that Akira Toriyama had in video games. I mean, Dragon Quest may not have found the same level of purchase that it ever did in Japan, but you can find these commercials on YouTube. Look up the commercial for Dragon Quest XI. Look up the Japanese commercial for Dragon Quest XI to get a proper understanding of just how important this franchise is to Japanese game, folks who have grown up in Japan and have been with the franchise since the very beginning. Like, it has that same level of familiarity as Mario. And the creator of those characters, the distinct vision and aesthetic of Dragon Quest that those players all know and love, and of course now here in the US and across around the world all know and love, has passed away. Dragon Ball Z, I think, is the more notable property probably in the US, but of course we can't overlook Toriyama's contributions to Chrono Trigger as well. Arguably one of the greatest RPGs of all time. Many put it at the top of the list. duking it out with Final Fantasy VI or whatever whatever other titles might be up there. I'm not here to tell you where it should place on your list, but uh, you know, again, the distinct vision of Akira Toriyama created characters that are just instantly recognizable. You see that spiky hair, you see Marl's ponytail, um, the kind of boisterous energy to Robo and that sort of thing. Like the way that Akira Toriyama brought his various characters to life is just something that many other mangakas and video game character designers aspire to. And following his death, many other mangakas have shared some heartfelt messages in mourning, including Eiichiro Oda, who is the mangaka for One Piece. And so I just wanted to read it here if you haven't had a chance to see it. The statement reads, "It is too early. The hole is too big. Sadness washes over me when I think that I will never see him again. I have admired him so much since I was a child, so I remember the day he called me by name for the first time. On the way home from the day you used the word friend for me and Kishimoto, I remember being overjoyed with Kishimoto. I also remember the last conversation we had. I was one of those who took the baton from the days when reading manga made you a fool, and he also created an era when both adults and children could enjoy reading manga. He showed us the dream that manga could go worldwide. It was like watching a hero going forward. For not only mangakas but also creators in various industries, the excitement and emotion of the time of Dragon Ball serialization must have taken root in their childhood. His existence is like a big tree. For the manga artists of our generation who stood on the same stage, Toriyama's works become more and more important to me as I got closer to the same stage. I even felt being scary. But I'm just happy to see the aloof man himself again, because we love him on a blood level. With respect and gratitude for the creative world he's left behind, I pray for his soulful rest in peace. May heaven be the joyous world he envisioned." And that's just such a beautiful sentiment, especially that last line there. May heaven be the joyous world he envisioned, because Dragon Ball Z is a very action packed. Lots of blood and violence and action, but there's also those moments of joy. There's also those moments of silliness. There's also just this demonstration of Toriyama really embracing that fun of bringing heroes to life and what heroes should do and what standing up for friends means and what defending your world means and getting stronger and pursuing getting better and all these other things. Such very important lessons that were communicated through that medium and many others. And it's part of getting older is saying goodbye to the people who set you on the path that you're on, right? It's knowing that Anthony Hopkins and Maggie Smith and all these people, and people are gonna like get mad at me because I'm putting this out in the universe, but like we have these memories of these incredible creators and actors and performers, and we eventually will have to say goodbye. I firmly believe that we had to say goodbye too early to Akira Toriyama, but nevertheless, wishing him wherever he is, safe travels, and of course, peace and healing to the friends and family who are mourning his death. I mean, granted, everyone right now, really, a big chunk of the world is a bit darker in the days following his death, because he's no longer here. But what remains are his memories, his legacy, and so now I'm going to go back and rewatch some Dragon Ball Z, I think, and some Dragon Ball Super. And again, it's too bad because the Super manga was going really well, and there's a lot of really cool narratives going on there. And yeah, so rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. Really unfortunate news to kind of wrap up our week last week, but there it is, and such it is. We also had Mario Day just yesterday. Well, when you listen to this, it'll be a couple days ago, March 10th. So, Mario Day, we had a number of announcements come out. The biggest of them being that Miyamoto announced the second Mario film on Nintendo's official Twitter account. The tweet reads, "This is Miyamoto." Very, very bold. "We are now creating a new animated film based on the world of Super Mario Brothers. This film is planned for release in theaters on April 3rd, 2026. I love that they have a date, like right down to the date already. Um, in the US and many other markets, and throughout the month of April and other territories. We'll let you know the details once we're ready to share more. This time, too, the staff at Illumination and Nintendo are working together. We're thinking about broadening Mario's world further, and it'll have a bright and fun story. We hope you'll look forward to it." I'm definitely looking forward to it. I had a blast with the original Mario film, and obviously it was extremely successful. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they have in store for us with the new Mario film. In addition to that, we also got release dates for Luigi's Mansion 2 Remaster that'll be released on June 27th, as well as Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, which will be coming out on May 23rd. And then finally, 3 additional Mario titles will be coming to Nintendo Online: the Game Boy's Dr. Mario and the Game Boy Color's Mario Golf and Mario Tennis will all arrive on Switch Online today, when you're listening to this, March 12th. So they will be available there. And that's it. That's all I had for you today. Just those 2 stories. Again, I just wanted to take a few minutes to share some of my thoughts on Toriyama passing away. But we will be back with our regularly scheduled programming next week, covering those headlines and all the things that are happening in the gaming world. Until next time, I'm Jeremy. Keep gaming, everybody. See ya.